Welcome to Chaos Pie, where we serve up sweet slices of pandemonium in just 15 minutes. Every day, you deal with the chaos of the reality of business, and you make decisions in a changing and uncertain environment. Chaos Pie is here to make your business life clearer, your decisions easier, and make you laugh while learning how. I'm Brian, and later in the show, I'll say something idiotic, and Garrison will make fun of me in an equally idiotic way. But first, let's talk about today's topic, which is...
Okay, our topic today is customer service and customer service culture. What creates good customer service? Why is it important? How can it help or hurt your business? And what can you personally do to impact customer service for your company? I saw a news piece about Delta Airlines violating their own customer service commitments, and I'm here with Garrison Wynn. My name is Brian Carter, of course. The article said that Delta Airlines is actually charging their frequent flyers more money online than people who didn't actually log in before they go to buy a ticket online.
That doesn't surprise me a bit. That doesn't surprise me. It's going on a lot. It's people are trying to do something, and they're probably trying to help some of their group, and they're hurting the group that spends the most money with them. It's not uncommon for people to do that. It's weird that you would, screw over the people who spend the most money with you to help the people who don't. But I think they're already spending money with you, I guess you're thinking, and you want new people. That's all I can think. That's evil.
Yeah.
But,
and that's a topic, too, that I was thinking about with this customer service topic. When companies feel like they have these customers hostage almost, they
right.
take the loyalty for granted, or even in situations where you got like a cable company and there's no other cable company to go to.
Right.
Yeah, then it seems like companies will do whatever they want.
Well, that's true. Think about it. You go somewhere that's like there's only one store that sells the thing, and then it's like going to Aspen to buy skis, It's like, if you ever bought any ski equipment or a fur coat in Aspen, it's like it's ridiculous because you're there. You're in the snow. You're already in the mountains. What are you going to do? Where are you going to go?
You're stuck, just kind of like you got to pay more for the food at the movie theater.
That's right.
So what I always do is just make sure I put all my food in my wife's purse. We just take our food in, and then I try to, if I drink a Red Bull or whatever in the theater, I got to make sure I take it out so that they're not on
right.
it.
I guess that was your first wife, I'm assuming, right? Because she left.
My first wife, no, she's very supportive. It's good. This is why we have purses, I think.
I'm just thinking normally when you stuff a lot of food in a woman's purse, after a while she just leaves you. I would assume that would happen.
So. No, I don't. My wife is very supportive. That's all I can say about that.
All right. I think you're fortunate that she's still with you after you. There's two types of cheap. There's regular cheap, and I need to shove a bunch of food in your purse and go to the movie cheap.
Wait, what are you trying to say? I don't get it. What are you trying to say, Garrison?
I'm just saying that imagine you're talking to a woman and saying, listen, I want to go to the movies with you. I like you, whether you're my wife or my girlfriend or whatever it is. But before we go, not that I'm cheap, but I would like to shove a lot of food in your purse and eat out of your purse.
No, you can't do this on a date. This is not like something you do with a woman you're dating. Yeah. You're married for a while, and you've had discussions about the food and everything, or you've had lengthy discussions about how the movie theater soft drinks have so much sugar in them that they cause you migraines, and then your wife dislikes the experience of you with migraines, and so she becomes a lot more willing to do things like stuff a bunch of food in her purse. That's how it works.
Yeah,
that's like 9 years of marriage.
So basically what you're saying is that the point is that you don't have to give customer service to people who you know better, which is the whole point with Delta. That's the whole thing.
My wife has good customer service. She'll carry the food around for me. Yeah, and Delta, go on.
I don't know. I tried to make a point. I'm not sure if I did or not. I think I was shooting at a target for a point, and they hit the side of the target. That's what I think.
The target moved. I moved the target.
You did move the target. But no, a couple things. I don't want to say bad things about Delta. Because I don't know. Maybe I should say I don't. But the bottom line is they're notorious over the years to have customer service issues. Absolutely. Anybody that flies. I'm in more than 100 cities a year. I speak at conventions for a living, and I will tell you, I don't fly Delta a lot. And one of the reasons is because You know,
go ahead.
and one of the reasons is because, you know, I mean, they're not the friendliest airline in the world. I mean, that's the experience I get with that airline. And I know some people have had similar experiences. Now, airlines are tough in general, but I'm sure that someone loves them. I'm sure that they do a wonderful job at some level. I just haven't experienced that in my, you know what I mean?
What I experience is a different, like a really inconsistent quality with customer service. Like
right.
you know, some flights are good, some aren't. Some flight attendants are nice, some aren't. You know, I had a thing with my iPhone where I could not get my voicemail set up right, and I'm not a dumb guy, and I know I'm good with technology, and I couldn't get it set up right, and I called twice, and they couldn't help me, or they gave me things that didn't work. And the third time that I called, I was so certain they weren't going to be able to help me that I had an attitude, and then when the guy helped me, I felt bad, you know, because they actually had one guy out of three that could figure out how to help me.
That's an interesting cycle of emotions you just went through.
I have many emotions.
And at the end, the tech guy prescribed medication. It was just unbelievable.
That's right. And here's some Depakote. I hope you feel it.
That is. I mean, nothing says customer service like, please take these pills, you know?
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean,
yeah.
I don't know. The airlines are in trouble anyway. There's not a lot of money in being in an airline right now. The profits aren't high. And I'm trying to be sympathetic. I'm speaking at a convention coming up for United, I think, next month in June. And I mean, you know, that the merger was tough. It was a tough merger. It's tough. And I think in the middle of a merger, it's really hard because, you know, mergers are hard on customers and hard on employees. You know, usually a merger is designed to increase profitability or something. It's not necessarily what's good for the customer or good for the employee. Long term, hopefully it is. But short term, it's not. But what I was going to say about customer service is I believe that people don't really want customer service. I think they want things that don't break down and don't need any service. So what that means is if you have to provide it, it better be really good. It's kind of like a hot dog. I don't really like hot dogs. If you want me to eat a hot dog, it better be a damn good hot dog. You know.
It's just like a hot dog.
That's the worst analogy I've had in 4 months, but it's all I got. But the thing is this, though. Speaking of hot dogs, Pizza Hut is making a pizza right now as we speak, and in the crust it has a hot dog with cheese. There's a cheesy hot dog in the crust of a pizza.
I don't believe that.
What?
I half believe that because I believe that these pizza companies are getting way too creative, like they have way too much time on their hands or something. Like, why can't you just make your pizza good and stop trying to stuff more things in? Why? You know, we don't have enough people with diabetes, so we sat around trying to think of ways that we could make your health even worse with more cheese.
That's right, but I mean, I wonder about that. Like Dairy Queen, I think, has, and I'm sure it's delicious, but what it is, it's a ice cream chocolate taco.
What?
It's an ice cream chocolate taco. Okay?
Ice cream chocolate taco, but I imagine it's not like there's no meat or lettuce, right?
No, there's no meat.
It just looks like a taco? What's taco-ish about it?
In the taco is ice cream chocolate. No, it's not like a taco with chicken and, you know, and cheese and lettuce and some ice cream on it. That would be disgusting.
It's like a company that says, you know how your parents said it all goes to the same place? Well, we're just going to give it to you all at once.
Well, look at remember the KFC, the Kentucky Fried Chicken, like chicken bowl? They had mashed potatoes and peas and chicken and gravy in one bowl.
I never ate that. Did you know anybody that ate that?
No, but it only points to one thing. Either these people are all in cahoots in some plan that somehow involves them manufacturing stretch pants or something like that's the goal. that one day we'll all have to go to the pharmacy and we'll have to get prescription pants. Go to the pharmacy to get your pants, right? That's what's going to happen. Or it's just that American culture, I mean, that's the service. In other words, if you give me some outlandish, gigantic amount of food, or it's crazy with hot dogs and cheese in the crust, you're going to put chocolate in a taco for me, maybe that is service. Maybe that's what I want. Maybe, you know
who's helping them with this? Like, they've turned the waitresses into police, at least here in the South, because if you're not finishing everything that you've ordered, they give you very stern looks.
Well, that's true.
Yeah, it's like you've failed. You have failed as my customer, and now you're 6 years old again, you know, and your mom's telling you to finish everything.
I know.
And I just want to say, look, there's a reason why I'm not fat, and it's related to this.
Right. That's right.
It's my ability to stop when I'm full, you know.
It is a reason that I don't have my own zip code for my body, and that is because I'm not going to eat all this.
Jokes. How fat was he?
Yes. But, you know, the thing is, though, what you're saying is really true, though, because I guess when I was a kid, you know, I remember some aunt one time told me that, well, you should eat this because there were starving people in China. I said, can we call the Chinese and ship them the rest of this? Because this is a lot of food.
I don't think they would eat it.
Right.
Well, okay, so let's try and bring it back. So, customer service.
Bring it back to what? What's the topic?
That's what we're talking about
today. Our topic is chocolate tacos. I'm your host.
Well, it's, you know, food is distracting. I haven't eaten lunch. Maybe that's part of it. So one thing, we talked about inconsistent customer service experiences. As part of that, like, I mean, what are you going to do? If you're a manager, well, you've got to design, can you design more consistent processes for people to follow, or is it just you're always going to have some employees who are good and some aren't? You know?
Well, a couple of things. Number one, if you make the customers feel valuable, then they're loyal. And then you develop customer loyalty, which is what you want people to come back. So to make customers feel valuable, it really would be the behavior that you have to have. So, you know, people have to feel like they've been heard and listened to and cared for. And there are people who can do that really, really well. And there are people who can't. Now, in the hotel business, I know from talking to people that they actually train people who just have a very they hire people who are very kind and considerate and have a compassionate nature and train them in the hospitality business. I mean, that's what they do.
Right.
Right. But the thing is that right now, if you're under 25 years old, you didn't grow up in a customer service culture, you know, I mean, you're just, you know, and also, as you know, in other countries, they're not like us. I mean, they think being nice and kind and polite is being dishonest or not being true to who you are. If you ever go to the Netherlands, you go to Amsterdam, you check into a 5-star hotel, you're shocked because it's not that terribly friendly.
I think they're depressed, aren't they? I mean, they live pretty far north. There's not a lot of sunlight, and they listen to really depressing music.
I don't know. I've always been impressed because they speak 5 languages and smoke marijuana. That impresses me to no end. But I think, well, I mean, I don't want to like criticize the Dutch. The Dutch do great, but I mean they're a lot better looking than they are friendly. I'll tell you that when you go over there. These people look fantastic, but they're not that friendly.
I had this experience with. I was talking to a lady. I was doing some like a SEO and social strategy review for a company that's international. They're based in Germany,
right?
The country of German. They're based in Germany, and I talked to this lady, and I was trying to get a sense of what they were doing with their Google AdWords ads, and they were definitely not doing something that's a best practice.
Right.
And I was trying to be clear about that and be sure that I was right and that they didn't have a good reason for not doing it, and there's really not a good reason for not doing it. But I guess I was trying to be nice. And when I established, you know, that the woman clearly was not doing what she should be doing and she was owning up to it because I was making her, then I was like, okay, great, thanks, this has been really helpful. And then she laughed, and I was like, okay, she laughed at me because I did this American positive thing, which I've learned. You know, really in America, the clients I have, they want you to tell them that you're excited to work with them.
That's right.
And that you like them, and that you like their business. And if you don't say those things, there's something missing, and I know the relationship goes bad if you don't do those things.
But I think you're right. And I mean, you know, this is all just speculation, which I think this entire show, in fact, is just speculation. But the thing is that, I don't know, maybe the American experience has been one that differs greatly from what's happened in Europe. And maybe it's because we're a young country. Maybe we're young. Maybe we're like kids. You know, kids are always happy and smiling and free because they're young. And maybe as we become older, we'll become more, you know, I don't know, more cranky and European.
Some Germans and some British people going, those Americans are so naive, wait until they lose their empire. You know?
Right, yeah, that's